Okay, so I just wanted to take the time to go over the 4 books that have completely changed my life. I talked a little bit about a few of them in my last video, but I just wanted to go more in depth about them. So the first book that I read was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And I suggest if you're just barely getting into the whole law of attraction universe stuff, to start with that. I feel like it's kind of an introduction into the whole self-help world. That one's really good. If you watch the movie, just know it's a little cheesy, but I recommend that too. Just have an open mind when you watch it. And then from there, after I watched the movie, read the book, listened to the book on tape, I then picked up You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And You Are a Badass is probably my all-time favorite right now. I say that now, but I'm seriously reading so many personal development books, so I'm sure it will change. Just so you know, once you start, these books are kind of like tattoos. You can't read just one. I really like this one because I feel like The Secret is very cheesy and it's kind of like fantasy-like, whereas this one is more relatable. She kind of puts it into real life terms, and she really tells you how it is. Like, pretty much she's like, hey, if you want it, go after it. Like, it's not going to be handed to you. The Secret makes it seem like if you think it, it will happen. No, you have to put the work in, and she tells you that. And the next one that I really love is The Self-Love Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. I'm probably saying all these names wrong. I know Jen Sincero I'm saying right, though. This one is really good, especially, like, for me, because I struggle with the self-love department. Like, so bad. The things I say about myself, like everyone, are horrible, and we shouldn't be thinking that, because at the end of the day, we are our own best friend. Like, you're going to be with you the rest of your life. Like, you have to love yourself. This one, like, really helped me a lot because my mom used to always tell me, like, oh, Shelby, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect someone else to? And I never understood that. Like, she told me when I was little, in high school, and I was just like, no, once someone loves me, I'll love myself. And no matter how many relationships I've been in, they never made me fall in love with myself. I always felt empty in them, and no wonder why they didn't work out is because, like, how can a relationship work if you don't even love you? How can that person love you if you don't love yourself? That's, like, one of the biggest things I've learned this year. There's actually a video on Facebook that I saw that Will Smith talks about that basically he talks about self-love. You have to love yourself, and at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own happiness. Like, you can be with your partner, but it's not their responsibility to make you happy. It's your responsibility. And that's kind of why I'm taking off, like, dating right now, because I don't want to be codependent, like, leaning on someone to make me happy. I want to make myself happy, and I feel like, in turn, me being happy, the other person will be happy, but I know it's not my responsibility, like I said, to make them happy. Like, when I am in my next relationship, I hope it's the last one, and I hope that he is kind of on the same page with everything like me, like, you know, all about, you know, discovering, like, sometimes I feel like I can't talk. Like, this is why I'm a blogger. I'm trying to be a vlogger, but I'm having a hard time because I feel like my mind goes like 1,000 miles a minute. And when I'm writing, I can take the time to compose my thoughts and they come off like a lot smarter. But when I'm trying to talk, I feel like I'm like, and then I just talk a whole bunch of gibberish. But hopefully you guys know what I'm trying to say. I hope so. But anyways, this one's really good. I totally recommend it. Like, I already want to read it again. And my newest love is The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. In my last video, I said Gabriel instead of Gabrielle. Whatever, it's fine. This one totally made me tear up like a few times in it. Like, it is just so... It's so uplifting, and the thing she says is just, like, amazing. And again, this one especially, you have to have an open mind. Like, if I would have read this last year when my friend first gave it to me, I remember when I first read the few pages, I'm like, this is stupid, this isn't real, because to me, I was, like, against religion. And, I mean, I still wouldn't say that I am a religious person. I am open to it. I am becoming very spiritual. But yeah, I have noticed, like, my mind is a lot more open to things. Like, I'm willing to listen and to hear it instead of just saying, nope, like I used to. Like, if anyone talked about religion, I was like, no, nope, don't talk to me about it. And now I'm like, okay, yeah. So, yeah. It's so good. I have so many things highlighted. There is a quote that was like in the last chapter that she quotes a lot of things from A Course in Miracles, which I haven't read, but I want to. And it says, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." That quote to me is freaking amazing, because my trip to Scotland, like I said, was the wound that pretty much opened me up to all this. Like, during that trip, like I said, I was made fun of, and when those things happened, I remember telling myself, like, it's just one moment. Don't let the words of those men who are probably super unhappy with their lives, don't let it affect this trip. You've waited a year to go on this. You paid so much money for it. Don't let them ruin this experience for you. And it just kept happening, and it kept happening, and I was like, I want to go home. And last night I was thinking about it, like, if I went home, that would have been the worst mistake I ever made. Like, I wouldn't have known it, but, like, now I'm like, oh my God, I am so beyond thankful that I stayed, because the door that was opened up for me, I just was life-changing. And I think that, like, if I did go home, I'm sure the challenge or the obstacle would have presented itself to me again until I actually learned from it, because I really believe that this was a part of my path. Like, now going through that, now reading all these books, like, I really want to pursue my career as a blogger. I did before, but now I really want to inspire people, because I just think it's amazing, like, all these books, all these women who are out there inspiring thousands of people, millions of people all over the world. I want to do that. I want to have a career that means something, like, not just a job that's from 8 to 5 that I'm doing nothing that changes the world. Like, I want to impact the world for good. I want to make a positive impact, especially today. Like, whenever you turn on the news, it's something sad. I want to bring back the hope, like all these women are doing. I want to change lives like they have changed my life. So those are the 4 books I recommend. I am reading a couple more that I'm sure I will be making another video on. Because honestly, making these videos make me happy. Like, I love to talk about stuff like this now. I love sharing my experience. It's just something that I'm so passionate about now, and I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you all are having a great night. But before I go, I want to say I have a cold right now, so that's kind of why I was struggling talking during certain words. I was like, because I'm extremely stuffy. And also, I just noticed that in those last few clips, my dog was making extremely weird noises. She's snoring. So I just did it again where I feel like I get caught on a word. just ignore both of us during those last snaps. I mean, don't ignore it. Also, as I just mentioned, I'm filming these on snaps because I'm poor and I can't afford a camera right now. That is on my list as my career progresses. But right now I just make them on these. I know I could use my camera, but I like Snap because it makes my skin look flawless.